Welcome back to Tungal College online classes. Hello students, how are you all? In last class you learned classification of ethers, nomenclature of ethers and preparation of ethers by dehydration of alcohols. Today we have the continuation topic preparation of ethers by Williamson synthesis. Let us write it. Williamson synthesis. Williamson synthesis. For PUC, it is very important question. Alkyl halides react with sodium alkoxide to form ethers. This reaction is known as a Williamson synthesis. First let us write equation. Alkyl halide I am labeling as Rx. This is alkyl halide. Alkyl halide reacts with sodium alkoxide. I am labeling as NaOR. Na plus O minus. This is a sodium oxide, sodium alkoxide. So alkyl halide react with sodium alkoxide, the leading to the formation of product. How to write the product is this X, this Na. This is partially negative charge, this is partially positive charge, this is partially negative charge. This X, this Na eliminate in the form of NaX. So how to write the product I am telling. This NX, this Na eliminate in the form of NaX is a byproduct. And this negative charge oxygen attack upon this partial positive charge alkyl group, this one attack upon this, then we will product is R, this O and this R, ROR, the product is ether. The product is ether. Now how to write the statement for this reaction? Alkyl halides react with sodium alkoxide gives ether. This reaction is known as a Williamson synthesis. Write the statement. Alkyl halides reacts with sodium alkoxide. Sodium alkoxide gives ethers. This reaction is known as Williamson synthesis. Williamson synthesis. This reaction is known as Williamson synthesis. Now let us take some general examples how to write the product for Williamson synthesis. I am taking a CH3O. So CH3Br I am taking plus CH3Br react with NaOCH3. This is the reactant. So Na plus here is O minus. So here is a CH3 partially positive charge, Br is partially negative charge. Now how to write the product? This Br, this Na eliminated in the form of what? NaBr. So the product is here is byproduct is NaBr. The byproduct is NaBr, and what is the product? CH3, this O will attack upon this CH3 plus partial positive charge, then the product is CH3OCH3. So this is what? Symmetrical alkane. This is an example of symmetrical alkane. I am taking one more example. CH3CH2Br. CH3CH2Br plus I am taking a CH3 NaO CH2CH3. Look at this example. So this Br, this Na element in the form of what? NaBr. This O minus will be joined at this carbon. This will attack upon this carbon. The product is CH3 CH2 CH3 CH2. This O is attacking here, then O CH2 CH3 plus NaBr. Then it is also an example of symmetrical ether. We will take one unsymmetrical ether. I am taking an example of CH3Br plus I'm changing alkyl, same alkyl, I'm taking NaOCH2CH3. Look at this example. This is O minus, this is Na plus. This is partially positive charge, this is partial negative charge. Eliminate NaBr. Eliminate NaBr. Then what is the product is CH3 bond. This O we have to attach at this carbon. Then we'll get O CH2CH3 plus NaBr. Look at this is a unsymmetrical ether. So this is example of unsymmetrical. How do I identify? To this oxygen, one side is one is alkyl groups attached, alkyl group attached to the oxygen, both are different here. So here alkyl group attached to the oxygen, both are same. This is ethyl, this is also a ethyl, both are same alkyl group, so that it is a symmetrical ether. But this oxygen alkyl groups attached, one side, one is methyl, another one is ethyl. Alkyl group attached to the oxygen, both are different. This is a unsymmetrical ether. So what is the point to understand is by Williamson synthesis we are able to prepare symmetrical ethers as well as unsymmetrical ethers, both type of ethers, unsymmetrical as well as symmetrical ethers we are able to prepare by using Williamson synthesis. This is Williamson synthesis. What is the definition? Alkyl halides react with sodium alkoxide, gives ethers. This reaction is known as Williamson synthesis. In Williamson synthesis, the better result obtained if alkyl halide is primary. In case of secondary and tertiary alkyl halides, the elimination computes over substitution. So what is the meaning of this statement? Let us understand by taking an example. I am taking alkoxide is CH3 O minus Na plus. So this is the alkoxide. I am taking alkyl halide is primary, CH3Br, primary alkyl halide is primary. Now what is the product we can expect from here? So this negative charge, this is the partially positive charge, this is the partial negative charge. This is already is told, this negative charge attack upon this positive charge, and this will be eliminate Na plus Br minus element in the form of NaBr. The product is, first we have tried this one, CH3 this methyl group we have attached to this oxygen, OCH3. This is the product is ether, and the byproduct is NaBr. NaBr is the byproduct in this reaction. Now if we take the primary alkyl halide, alkyl halide is primary, the product is ether. If you take alkyl halide is tertiary, and I am changing this alkoxide also, what is the product we expect from the reaction? I am taking alkoxide is CH3Br, CH3ONa minus Na plus. Right? I am taking alkyl halide is CH3Br. This is the alkyl halide I took. This is what? Tertiary alkyl halide. Alkyl halide is tertiary. So what is the product in this reaction? The product is ether or alkane. In this case, if you take the tertiary alkyl halide, the product is not ether. The product is alkene, because this alkoxide can act as a base. So instead of nucleophilic substitution, there is elimination. How the elimination is? I am taking this CH2, I am writing as CH2H I am writing. This CH I wrote as CH2H. This bond will migrate here. The bond between carbon and this bromine will undergo cleavage. As a result, the product is CH3, C double bond, this will become CH2, this will be remaining as CH3. The product is alkene. The product is alkene in a reaction. So what is the pointer? If you take tertiary alkyl halides, the product is alkene but not ether. Right? Write that statement. If alkyl halide is tertiary, then the product is alkene. The product is alkene but not ether. But not ether. So this is the meaning of this statement. What is the statement I given? Now by this Williamson synthesis method, we are able to convert phenols into ethers. I am taking an example of phenol. So this is phenol. Phenol react with sodium hydroxide. Phenol is fused with sodium hydroxide, react with sodium hydroxide, will produce this O minus Na plus. So the product is sodium phenoxide. Sodium phenoxide. This sodium phenoxide will be treated with alkyl halide. I am labeling as Rx. This negative charge already I told attack upon this alkyl group, then the product is upon the benzene ring. Upon the benzene ring, this O will be there. To this O we have to substitute this R. This Na and this X in the form of NaX. So this is nothing but ether. This is ether. So by using Williamson synthesis, we are able to convert phenols into ethers. I will take one general example. I am taking phenol OH group upon the benzene ring. This one I am treating with the sodium hydroxide. Then the product is O minus, this is Na plus. O minus Na plus. This one I am treating with CH3Br. CH3Br. This negative charge oxygen attack upon this carbon. Then what is the product we can expect? Upon the benzene ring, we have to write OCH3. So this is nothing but ether. Ether is the product. So what is the point is, by using Williamson synthesis, we are able to prepare ethers from phenols. This is Williamson synthesis. Next topic is properties of ethers. The properties of ethers are divided into two types. The first one is physical properties, the second one is chemical properties. Now let us discuss one by one in detail. Among them, the first one is physical properties of ethers. In that, the first one is boiling points. The first one, boiling points. Boiling points of ethers are less than the boiling point of alcohols of a comparable molecular masses. This is mainly due to the absence of intermolecular hydrogen bonding in ethers or the presence of intermolecular hydrogen bonding in alcohols. What is the meaning of this statement? Let us understand by taking an example. I am taking an ether CH3, CH2O, CH2, CH3. So diethyl ether I took. I am taking alcohol CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2OH. So these both are isomers. So what number of carbons? 1, 2, 3, 4. C4 and number of atoms 3 plus 2, 5 and 5 H10O. C4 H10O. For this case 1, 2, 3, 4. C4 number of hydrogens is 10 and oxygen. C4 H10O both have same molecular form. These are isomers. I am labeling this structure as 1, this structure as 2, this molecule. And the boiling points I am comparing, the boiling point 1 is less than 2. This meaning is boiling point of ethers is less than the boiling points of alcohols, or boiling points of alcohols is greater than the boiling points of ethers. Now the point is why this difference is arises, what is the reason behind it? In this case, in ethers, there is no intermolecular hydrogen bonding. I am labeling this this CH3, CH2 as R, this I am labeling as R. So R, O, R. This is ether. I am labeling another molecule R, O, R. Between these two molecules, so there is no intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Between these two, no hydrogen bond. No hydrogen bonding. But I am taking alcohol, this group I am labeling as R. So R, H, O, R. This is the partial negative, this is the partial positive. This is an alcohol molecule. I am writing another O, R, partial negative, partially positive. Between the oxygen of one oxygen of one molecule, oxygen atom of one molecule and hydrogen atom of another molecule. Here is oxygen is more electronegative, partially negative, more electronegative, so that partial negative charge. Hydrogen is partially positive charge in another molecule. Between these two atoms, there is a hydrogen bond. There is a hydrogen bond. Due to presence of hydrogen bonding in this molecule, to separate these two molecules to evaporate it required high temperature. But here is no hydrogen bonding. As a result, we are able to separate these two molecules with low temperature. So that boiling points of ethers are less than the boiling points of alcohols. Or we can write the statement: boiling points of alcohols is greater than the boiling points of ethers is mainly due to presence of intermolecular hydrogen bonding in alcohols. Otherwise, absence of intermolecular hydrogen bonding in ethers. Write the statement. The boiling points of alcohols are greater than the ethers due to presence of intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Intermolecular hydrogen bonding in alcohols or absence of intermolecular hydrogen bonding in ether. So this is boiling points. Then second one is solubility. Ethers are soluble in water due to formation of intermolecular hydrogen bonding between ether molecules and water molecules. What is the meaning of this statement? Let us understand by taking example. I am taking ether ROR. Upon oxygen, two lone pairs is present. I am taking water molecule HOH. Oxygen is partially negative, hydrogen is partially positive. I am taking another water molecule HOH. So hydrogens are partially positive, oxygen is partially negative. So hydrogen atom of water molecule, this partially positive charge, and oxygen of ether molecule. So oxygen atom of ether molecule form the hydrogen bonds. This is one hydrogen bond, and this is another hydrogen bond. Hydrogen bond. So due to formation of hydrogen bonds between the ethers and water molecule, ether molecule and water molecule, ethers are soluble in water. So write the same sentence. Ethers are soluble in water. Ethers are soluble in water due to formation of intermolecular hydrogen bonding between ether molecules and water molecules, between ether molecules and water molecules, or simply ether and water. So because of the formation of intermolecular hydrogen bonding between ether and water molecules, ethers are soluble in water. So this is a solubility of ethers. Simply it is physical properties of ethers. The first one is boiling points, the second one is solubility. This is the physical property of ethers. Next topic is chemical properties. In that cleavage of CO bond in ethers. Reaction number 1, reaction with HX. The first one is reaction with HX, hydrogen halide. Hydrogen halides. Ethers react with hydrogen halides. HX gives alkyl halides. What is the meaning of this statement is, I am taking ether ROR, general representation. This one react with HX, excess quantity. This is excess quantity of HX. Then how to write the product is, I am labeling a HX here again. This is the HX, and I am breaking the bond between hydrogen and halogen, and I am breaking the bond with oxygen and carbon of one alkyl halide. This bond I am breaking. Then hydrogen attached to this oxygen, halogen attached to this alkyl group. Then the product is ROH plus RX. One product is alcohol, another product is alkyl halide. So we are taking excess quantity of HX. As a result, this alcohol in turn react with HX will produce alkyl halide. Write the reaction. ROH plus we are taking excess quantity, then HX. Then HX, these two eliminate in the form of water, minus H2O. This X attached to this R. Then the product is R, this X is attaching to this alkyl group. Then RX plus OH and H element in the form of H2O. So the product is alkyl halide. The product is alkyl halide. If you take excess quantity of HX, we'll take one general chemical example. I'm taking CH3, CH2O, CH3. This one treating with HCl or HI, excess quantity I took. Then what is the product we can expect here? So here I already said we have to take this one H and I. This is H and I. We have to break the bond between hydrogen and halogen, and we have to break the bond between this CH3 and oxygen. Then OH hydrogen attached to this oxygen, iodine attached to this methyl group. Then the product is CH3, CH2, O and this H. The product is CH3, CH2, OH plus this CH3 and this iodine will be get CH3I. And we took the excess quantity of HI. Then this alcohol further react with the HI. The product is alkyl halide. CH3, CH2, OH. This alcohol I took again here, plus I am taking one more HI. Then we have to remove this water. This iodine attached to this alkyl group. Then the product is CH3, CH3, CH2, CH2I. This I is added here. Then OH and H element in the form of H2O. So the product is ethyl iodide. So this is nothing but alkyl halide. So what is the pointing is reaction with HX, ethers react with excess of HX will produce alkyl halides. Now this is the reaction with HX. We have the mechanism to it. Now let us look at the mechanism. Mechanism involves three steps. Step number 1. Mechanism also 3 steps. Step number 1, protonation of ether. So what is ether is here? I'm rewriting here. First I'm writing CH3, CH3, O, CH2, CH3, CO, CH2, CH3 plus react with what is this? HI plus HI. So here upon oxygen there is a lone pair of electrons. This lone pair of electrons attack upon this hydrogen. As a result, the bond between H and I undergo cleavage shifted towards iodine. Then the product is CH3, O. To this lone pair attacking upon this hydrogen is bonded to it, and remaining part is CH2, CH3, CH2, CH3. Oxygen with 3 bonds, 1, 2, 3 bonds with a positive charge, and remaining what we have is I minus, I with a negative charge. That is a step 1. Step 2. Step 2. What is the product is formed, and this product you should rewrite here. I am rewriting simply. I minus, I am rewriting this product again here. I minus plus CH3 O H with positive, oxygen with positive charge, CH2 CH3. Then this negative charge iodine can attack upon this alkyl group and this alkyl group. There are two possibilities. This is a very key point. Listen to me carefully. This I minus can attack upon this alkyl group, and this bond undergo cleavage, one possibility. And this I minus can attack upon this alkyl group. This is another possibility. This I minus attack upon this alkyl group, and this attack upon this alkyl group. If we attack upon this alkyl group, this bond undergo cleavage. So what is the product will be decided. What is the product is the I alkyl halide will be formed with the lower alkyl group. Check these two alkyls. Which one is the lower? That is that one alkyl halide will get formed. So this is methyl is the small one, lower one, and compared to the CH2CH3. This CH3 will be attacked by this I minus, but not CH2CH3. I am repeating the sentence. Alkyl halide is formed by the lower alkyl group. Which is the lower one? You have to check. Among these two cases, CH3, CH2, CH3. Which is the small one? Which is the lower one? This one. So I minus attack upon this CH3, but not upon this CH2 CH3. As a result, a transition state is formed in SN2 mechanism. So I am rewriting this iodine. Simultaneously, the bond between iodine and CH3 and cleavage of bond between carbon and oxygen is taking place at a time. Then that simultaneously will be shown by the dotted lines. This meaning is CH3 dotted line I am keeping. Oxygen, it has bonds with hydrogen with positive charge, CH2 CH3. This is the transition state with the negative charge. Now what is my point is here we have iodine negative charge. This carbon is between the iodine and the carbon there is a bond formation, and bond breaking between carbon and oxygen simultaneously takes place. So that I showed in the transition state. Then after breaking of the bond between carbon and oxygen, the product is CH3 and I will become a CH3I plus. This bond also is going to go cleavage. Then the product is CH3, CH2, O and H will become OH. The one product is alcohol is formed. Clear? Then what is the product is formed? That alcohol again react with excess. We are taking excess of HI. This step CH3CH2 will react with the excess of one more molecule of HI molecule will produce alkyl halide. What is the alcohol formed? That further react with the HI. That is the step 3. Step 3. Then CH3 CH2OH. This will react with HI. The lone pair of electrons present on oxygen will attack upon this hydrogen. As a result, the bond between them is undergo cleavage. The product is CH3, CH2, CH3, CH2. This O I wrote. To this hydrogen we have to attach. Hydrogen, already one hydrogen is there with positive charge. Plus we have to write here is I minus. Clear? Then take this product again, CH3, CH2O, HH with positive charge, and we are taking I minus. This I minus again attack upon the CH2. The bond between this is undergo cleavage. This bond is undergo cleavage. As a result, CH3, CH2 and this I. Then the product is CH3, CH2I plus OH and this other two hydrogen one oxygen in the form of H2O. So this is the mechanism of this reaction. The final product is alkyl halide. Alkyl halide if you take excess of HI. So this is the mechanism of reaction with HX. Next reaction is electrophilic substitution reactions. Alkoxy group is an electron releasing group which increases electron density at ortho and para positions, and it directs the incoming nucleophile towards ortho and para position. Now look at the mechanism of arylitis. I am taking, this is the benzene ring. Upon the benzene ring, alkoxy group is present, OR, and this oxygen has two pairs of electrons, two lone pairs, and these lone pairs involved in the resonance. The lone pair present upon this oxygen will be moved towards the like this, and the bond here is moved towards to carbon. As a result, we will get one more structure. What is the structure is? And here is between the oxygen and carbon, double bond is going to get formed. Double bond O R with positive charge. Already one lone pair is there with positive charge. Right, this bond is moving to here, this pi bond remains same, this bond is remains same. This is the structure 1, I am labeling, this is the structure 2. You are writing the resonance structures for this ether. Then this pi bond, this negative charge will move here, these electrons will come here, pi bond electrons. As a result, we will get one more structure. One more structure. This pi bond remains same, this pi bond remains same. This electrons is moved here, here pi bond is formed, this bond is came here, this here is a negative charge, and this remains same, we didn't touch it. O, R, here is two lone pairs with positive charge, one lone pair with positive charge. Then next step is what is the negative charge is formed here will be shifted to here. Then this pi bond will move to here. Then we will get one more structure. So this is structure number 3. We will get one more structure here. The structure is, this remains same, O R one pair with positive charge here. Then this bond we didn't touch, this bond remains same. This negative charge went inside. Here is a one pi bond formation. This bond came outside. So in this carbon get negative charge. In the next step, this negative charge will come inside. These bond pairs will go towards oxygen. As a result, one more structure we can expect. What is the structure? This bond we didn't touch, this bond remains the same. Here is the one pi bond, this remains the same. This negative charge went inside, here is the pi bond is formed. This bond is moved here, then here is only single bond with R. Again here is two lone pairs. So this is the third structure, fourth structure, and this is the fifth structure. All these structures are called as resonance structures. These are resonance structures. In these ethers, the electrophilic substitution reactions takes place at electrophile in the sense E with positive charge. Electrophile with E with positive charge. Where electrophilic substitution reaction takes place in this molecule. Where the negative charge is there, at that place electrophilic substitution reaction takes place. Look at here. E positive, here is negative. Electrophile can attack at ortho position. This is ortho position. Electrophile can attack at ortho position. Next, electrophile can attack at which position? This position is called as a para position. So electrophile can attack at para position. Second possibility. And third possibility is electrophile can attack at, this is also which position? What is this position name? Ortho position. This is electrophile can attack at again ortho position. So electrophiles can attack at ortho position, para position, ortho position. This position is called as meta position. This is called as a meta position. This one is a meta position. But at meta position, no electrophilic substitution reaction takes place, because the reason what electrophile has a positive charge, but here it didn't have any charge. Negative charge is not developed in a resonance structure. So that electrophilic substitution reactions will take place at ortho position and para position, but not at meta position. In these ethers, aromatic ethers, the electrophilic substitution reaction takes place at ortho and para positions, but not at meta position. While writing the product, you have to write the product at, suppose I am taking, this is the ether OR. If you want to write the product, you have to write the product E with positive charge at ortho position. This product you will get formed. One more product what we can expect here is OR with para position is electrophile. Para position electrophile, but meta position OR, meta position E, this product is not possible. Why this product is not possible? Because at meta position no negative charge is developed. Why ortho product is formed? Why para product? This is the para product. Why ortho product? Why para products are forming? Because at ortho position and para positions there is a high electron density. Nothing but negative charges is developed in a resonance. So we have some electrophilic substitution reactions. While discussing the electrophilic substitution reactions, you have to write the product at only ortho and para positions. We have to discuss it one by one. Electrophilic substitution reactions, first one is halogenation. First one, halogenation. Bromine react with anisole in acetic acid forms para-bromoanisole and ortho-bromoanisole. Let us write the equation. I am taking anisole. Anisole is nothing but upon the benzene we have tried to CH3. This compound is called as anisole. Anisole react with bromine. Anisole react with bromine in acetic acid. Anisole react with bromine in acetic acid. What is the product we can expect here is OCH3. This remains the same. I already said the product formed at ortho position and para position. Bromine will be substituted at ortho position. This is ortho-bromoanisole. One product is ortho-bromoanisole and another product is OCH3. Electrophilic substitution takes place which position? Para position. So here is Br. So this is para-bromoaniline. Ortho-bromoaniline and para-bromoaniline. Among these two, the para product is major, ortho product is minor in all the cases due to ortho effect. So para product is major and para product is ortho product is minor, para product is major. Then I am taking another example. Second one is nitration. Nitration. Second electrophilic substitution reaction, nitration. Anisole react with concentrated nitric acid and concentrated sulfuric acid. The mixture of nitric acid and sulfuric acid. Anisole react with this mixture is called as a nitrating mixture. Anisole react with nitrating mixture. These two will react. The electrophile is NO2 with positive charge. This we will get the electrophile is NO2 with positive charge. This positive electrophile can attack at ortho position and para position. Then what are the product we are going to get expect here is OCH3. Here is NO2 group and another product is OCH3 and second product what will you expect? Thus NO2 group is substituted at a para position. This is ortho nitro. What is the name of this compound? Anisole. Ortho nitro anisole. Here is what we will get? Para nitro anisole. So this is the second electrophilic substitution reaction. Third one. Friedel-Crafts reactions. In that the first one is Friedel-Crafts alkylation. Friedel-Crafts alkylation. It is nothing but anisole reacts with alkyl halide in presence of anhydrous AlCl3. Gives ortho product as well as para product. Now look at the equation. I am taking anisole nothing but OCH3, right? This will react with alkyl halide CH3. I am taking as Cl in presence of anhydrous AlCl3. In presence of anhydrous AlCl3, from this these two will react. AlCl3 react with ClCl3. The product will get is CH3 carbocation. This carbon with positive charge attack upon the ortho position, or this may attack upon the para position. Already we see in the electrophilic substitution reactions, resonance structures. Then product is one product is OCH3. One product we have to substitute methyl group at ortho position, plus in another product we have to substitute methyl group OCH3 at para position. These are the two products is formed. So ortho product is minor. Already we know this is the minor product and this is the major product. This is the para product is major. Now what is the name of this compound? Upon the benzene link CH3 group will be there, we have to work as a toluene. So this is a 2-methoxytoluene. 2-methoxytoluene. And this is a 4-methoxytoluene. 2-methoxytoluene and 4-methoxytoluene. And the second one is Friedel-Crafts acylation. Friedel-Crafts acylation. Nothing but ensure react with acid chloride. In presence of anhydrous CaCl3, will produce one is ortho product, another one is para product. I will show the reaction first. I am taking anisole OCH3. This one will be treated with CH3 C double bond OCl in presence of anhydrous AlCl3. Ensure react with acid chloride in presence of anhydrous AlCl3 will produce ortho and para substitute product. This is nothing but Friedel-Crafts acylation. Acylation in the sense we have to substitute CH3 C double bond with positive charge. This group we have to substitute. This positive charge may attack at ortho position. This positive charge may attack at para position. So two products we can expect. Now first writing the first product. Benzene ring. Upon this we have to take OCH3 and C double bond CH3 we have to substitute ortho position. This is one product, and the second product is OCH3. This will be substituted to C double bond OCH3 at para position. So ortho is minor product and para is major product. Name of this compound is upon the benzene link C double bond OCH3 is called as acetophenone. And which position methoxy will be there? At second position. So this is 2-methoxy acetophenone. 2-methoxy acetophenone. This is what? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4-methoxy acetophenone. 4-methoxy acetophenone. 4-methoxy acetophenone. So these are the products found in Friedel-Crafts acylation as well as Friedel-Crafts alkylation. So these are the electrophilic substitution reactions. So one thing you have to remember, what is that point is electrophilic substitution reactions takes place at ortho position and para position. So in any reaction go to ortho and para product, I did not take at the product at the meta position. So electron density at meta position will be less, meta product will not get formed. Electron density at ortho and para positions is more. As a result, electrophilic substitution reactions takes place at ortho and para positions. So this is electrophilic substitution reactions of ethers, the tertiary compounds. Next class I will come out with another topic.